say it. Writer E. Jean Carroll claims in a new book that Trump forced himself on her while in a dressing room at New York City department store Bergdorf Goodman 23 years ago. During an interview with The Hill in the Oval Office yesterday, Trump said, "I'll say it with great respect. Number one, she's not my type. Number two, it never happened.
That's with great respect? Elise, that's with great respect?
As reprehensible as it gets.
That's where you start? She's not my type?
It's typical Donald Trump being absolutely disgusting.
But what is his type?
When it comes to talking about women.
We're talking about rape here. So what is his type?
That your guess is as good as mine. When it seems like he likes anyone he can grab. He said what he likes to do, and E. Jean Carroll told a story that is fully in keeping with the behavior pattern that Donald Trump himself described in his own words.
So you really kind of actually crystallized it. We're talking about sexual assault. We're talking about actual rape. And the president said that she's not his type. So I guess the follow-up question is, since you have a type when it comes to rape, what's your type, Donald Trump? And is it any of the other women who claimed that you raped them?
You know,
what is your type, since you have a type, that you would rape?
And thank you for saying
that's what
rape,
you said.
because this is rape. What was described in that story
and I know that
was rape.
You're watching.
George Conway said this in an op-ed, Willie. We Republicans brought up Juanita Broaddrick all the time.
Yep.
And there were differences. Juanita Broaddrick actually denied it for quite some time and denied it under oath. And there wasn't an on-air confession the way Donald Trump had a confession that does line up fairly consistently with what happened here. So with all that said, there are a lot of Democrats out there that are saying, well, wait a second. Joe Biden placed his hands on a woman's shoulders, and that got more press coverage on every Sunday show than Donald Trump, allegation that Donald Trump raped somebody. The allegation that Joe Biden made somebody feel uncomfortable got far more press conference than a credible allegation of rape. And the question is, why? And by the way, let's just put candidate A, candidate B. Take it away from Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Why is it that candidate A is, people are saying he's going to be driven from the race? He may not survive this because there was somebody who said he placed his hands on their shoulder, it made her uncomfortable, versus candidate B, who has rape allegations, credible rape allegations against.
Well, it's a good question to ask, and the allegation by E. Jean Carroll fits with other behavior that the president has been accused of, and not just that he's been accused of, but that he described on the Access Hollywood tape, which is to force himself on a woman and saying, if you're famous, you can do whatever you want to do. I think the problem is, and Mika, you may disagree with me, is that there have been so many allegations and so much baked in. I'm not defending this. So much baked in to Donald Trump and his sexual misconduct and the allegations of rape that they go, oh, it's another one on the list against Donald Trump.
Actually, the problem is Republicans. And the Republicans in Congress and the Senate who are supporting this president, who will not say anything to defy him. I'd like to just put this to you, and I'd like to say you have a president who has gone on national television and said he would accept dirt from a foreign government and put our country at risk. He has proved himself with his words to be a national security risk. And now he has said, when accused of rape, that this is not the woman he would rape. I want to know why you can go back to your constituents and say that you support this man, and why you would put your political future on the line for this man. I need to know why all of you are so weak and so spineless that you would actually stand up for a man who says, this is not the woman I would rape. She's not my type, meaning he would rape another woman. You explain to me why that's okay, and why you go on every day looking in the mirror and doing your job and thinking this is the president you should support. So Trump went on to add that his accuser is, quote, totally lying. I don't know anything about her. I know nothing about her. She is. It's just a terrible thing that people can make statements like that. Carroll responded to Trump's email shortly after. Take a listen.
I love that I'm not his type. He's denied all 15 women who've come forward. He denies, he turns it around, he threatens, and he attacks.
Yeah, you know, Gene Robinson, he does, and Mika was talking about his past behavior, but also the press coverage and the public's reaction is, as Willie said, baked into the cake. I remember saying after the Access Hollywood tape came out and everybody said that was the end of his campaign, I said, this is a guy who went on Howard Stern and said he'd like to have sex with a dead princess because he likes her skin. Baked into the cake. I mean, there's a guy who basically said he'd like to date his daughter, that she was hot. This is a guy that constantly rated women, scale of 1 to 10, talking about different parts of their anatomy. It was all on tape. All these evangelical Christians, all these Christians, they know it's all out there. It's not fake news. Donald Trump has spoken in a way that...
Not my type.
That spoken in a way that all these evangelical Christians have been teaching their children from the time they were 5, how not to speak and how not to act. So it was all on the table. They didn't care after Access Hollywood. So the question is, why would they care now, even after the rape allegation?
Yeah, I mean, it's breathtaking. I mean, that was where I was going to go. I was going to ask, what about the evangelicals? What about Vice President Pence? How does he sit there?
How does he sit there?
You know, every day he stands in the corner with this sort of very pious look on his face, and there's your guy. There's the guy who says, he effectively says, Mika is absolutely right. He's saying, well, if she were a different type, yeah, I would definitely rape her. I mean, it's just incredible. And you can't really bake rape into the cake.
Unless we hear from Republicans today.
Whatever obscene kind of cake it is, my goodness.
You know who baked that into the cake? Democrats and Juanita Broaddrick. They baked that into the cake.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry. Listen,
I disagree.
Not to throw cold water on this parade, but Juanita Broaddrick's.
No, I don't disagree.
Juanita Broaddrick's.
We don't even need to go there. Thank you, Bill.
Well,
am I on the set of SNL?
For Donald Trump.
Am I on the set of SNL?
No,
Juanita?
you're not. No, this is. I'm sorry. I will say.
I'm just trying to complete a sentence.
Yeah.
Juanita Broaddrick had very specific and very credible rape allegations. And I can tell you, not a single Democrat that I worked with in Congress gave a damn. They were in power. They wanted to stay in power. And when it came time to speaking out against the president, they wouldn't do it. The shoe now is on the other foot. This is not a condemnation of Democrats or Republicans. It is just how sick politicians in Washington can be when they think their side could move forward.
Can I just add to what Mika was saying? And I think part of what's upsetting you so much, because I feel it very viscerally. What Trump is saying is, this woman wasn't even worth raping, wasn't even worth assaulting. Right. It's the low regard that he holds so many women. And it's behavior, his attitude towards women that permeates everything that he does on a daily basis in his entire life.
And he's done this before. The not my type defense is one Trump has used when taking on another accuser. Here he is in 2016 talking about People magazine journalist Natasha Stoyanov, who claims Trump forced himself on her during an interview at Mar-a-Lago in 2005, and also Jessica Leeds, who accused him of groping her on a plane in the early 80s.
She's doing a story on Melania, who's pregnant at the time, and Donald Trump, our one-year anniversary. And she said, I made inappropriate advances. Take a look. You take a look. Look at her words. You tell me what you think. I don't think so. I don't think so. I was sitting with him on an airplane, and he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you. You don't know. That would not be my first choice.